What's going on, guys? Toilet here. We are finally back with some more Satisfactory. Took a nice little holiday break to spend time with the family and didn't really have much time or energy to really work on any videos. I did, however, post a video about me making my O-gauge train layout table in my garage, so if you haven't seen that yet, you should definitely go check that out. But enough of the self-promotion. It's time to finish up a factory. Just as a quick recap of what we've been doing so far, these are the items we are making in this factory. We have collected a bunch of materials from the area, as well as plenty of water, refined some of those materials and water, constructed and assembled those items, blended some of those items up. We took some of that blended liquid and refined it into a recycle plant and manufactured some parts. After that, we put some more materials in some foundries, assembled those into a bunch of quick wire, assembled some more stuff and some more stuff, and manufactured them into the final parts we needed. Now, all we have to do is finish out this floor and make our final products to finish out the factory. Alrighty, so how are we going to finish out this floor? Well, the last thing we need is going to be right in our area. We need bauxite. We need a total of 1,320 bauxite to turn that basically into casings and ingots for two of the materials up top. So we're just gonna steal all the bauxite from this area, and my factory and my UFO will just have to deal with it. For the bauxite setup, we are going to need refineries to make an alternate sloppy alumina recipe, refineries to make another alternate electrode aluminum scrap recipe. We are going to need smelters to smelt all the scrap down to ingots, and then constructors to turn the aluminum ingots into casings. And that is how we are going to round out this floor. The casings will be used in the radio control unit, but also more importantly in the heat sinks for the cooling system, which I keep needing to remind myself that I will need nitrogen gas at some point, which I can get from underground gas wells. So that's not a problem. I'm pretty sure there's some nearby, but we will cross that bridge while we burn it. All right, first is going to be the bauxite. This is going to go rather quick. I do kind of really want to get this done and move on to the next project. Now, I already have all of the blueprints that I am going to need. I have the alumina solution in these amazing refinery blueprints, and this is about the same as it is for the aluminum scrap. They're basically the same thing. I have the scraps going into the ingots in these, and these are stackable, which is nice because I need like 44 smelters. I have this really cool aluminum casing kind of arrow typey for the casings. Now, only some of the ingots are going to go into there, so I only need one of these blueprints. We're going to try to fit it over here or over here. Most of the bauxite is coming from this way, so I kind of want to put the refineries here, and then the smelters, and then the whatever they're called, constructors, sorry. Now, the byproduct of the aluminum scraps is going to be water, and that water is going to flow with the I believe it's the heavy oil residue from something. I'm gonna have to figure that out later. All of these heavy oil refineries do not need to be going into all of this fuel. Oh wait, no, this just needs the water. This is where the water is gonna go, and then this fuel from here, this outputted fuel all through here, is gonna go to the generators. Okay. And the generators we still have to do as well. But for now, we gotta get cooking on this bauxite. Okay, so I'm basically gonna have to take all of it. Take these three here, and then just the 300 from over there. So the only one that'll be left is the 150, and the 150 will still go to the train. That works for me. Okay, that'll be fun getting everything over because I have this line here. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. We still have this. Oh, we have this blank wall right here. So we can literally just steal it from over there, drag it on over here, combine it with those, shove them up here, go over this thing, and then into the refineries, which I need 6.6. Oh, that's a tight squeeze. That is not going to fit all 6. All right. So we'll just get our bauxite set up. And after that, I'll set up the refineries for the aluminum scrap. After that, I'm going to do my best to fit all 44 smelters in the area. And then finally put down my blueprint for my aluminum casings constructors. And just like that, bauxite is completed. All right. Definitely had to crunch some numbers a little bit, but very quickly, all of the bauxite and water from my whatever we're calling that goes into these refineries to make alumina solution. And then all that alumina solution gets weirded out with these pipes into aluminum scrap and water. The aluminum scrap goes into all of these aluminum ingots. Some of these aluminum ingots will go into these to make the aluminum casings, which they are doing. The rest will go into the next floor up. The water from these refineries are going across the ceiling. Whoa. Hello. Okay. We're just gonna have that. The excess water goes to the ceiling to these blenders to make fuel, and the fuel will go off to make some power from fuel generators. And I think that left enough space here for my motor. Where is it? Motor may. Yes, that is perfectly enough space, except I do not have enough Sommer sloops, which is really surprising. I definitely do need Sommer sloops for this, so I'm gonna have to find one and then just plop this right here, and then I'll try to make it match the rest. I built this with this not in mind, so let me go get my Sommer sloops real quick and then we'll place that down. Okay, we got our Sommer sloops. And we are going to be placing this right here. Let this giant thing build. I kind of smushed this into a blueprint. So I need 15 motors, right? That's why I need the Sommer sloops. 15 motors. It needs 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 20, 21, 210 iron ore turned into ingots. And then that all goes through the process of making it all the way up to here, where you got double the stators, double the rotors to make the motors. All right. So I just got to make this look pretty. Hook up the iron and finally get it hooked up to power. Beautiful. Okay. We should start seeing stuff get separated and made. Beautiful. And with that, that completes this floor. Just look at how much stuff is going on here. That's a lot. We got Caterium and we got copper. We got some iron stuff going on. We got rub. This is such a mess. I don't even want to show you guys what's going on here. Like, look, what is all this here? What is this? Oh man, but I made it all work and it's working. It's just everything's backed up. I do want to do though is, let me get this power line and just put it there. Let's see how much power. Oh wow, look at that. Oh my goodness. So the max, this is what I was worried about. The max consumption is over my production. That is no bueno. That means next what we got to do is build the fuel generators over yonder, where we built the circular platform oh so long ago. It is finally time to use this. I honestly have no idea how many fuel generators I need. My notes are saying 38. 150 is going to the fuse modular frames and the rest is going to fuel generators. So I just got to fiddle around with this and then get these up and running because this will supply more power, and I need more power because we're still not done. We need more stuff up top. All right, and with the magical power of editing. Okay, so I got all of the fuel generators up on this nice circular platform, and I built it up. Nice little pyramid here. I couldn't fit all of them, so I think this one is up to 2 and this one's up a little bit. And I try to do the fuel lines as best as possible, but once we actually start up the system, we are going to have to kind of fiddle with this and see which ones aren't getting powered on, as well as put in the pumps because I didn't put any pumps, and this has to pump all the way up to the top. And as you can also see, I was doing some decorating. I had this nice little curve idea because I want all this to be out. I have this nice little neon band going around. I'm gonna have these come up here, and then down here, as you can see, it just kind of sits on this little platform. And inside are 3 fluid buffers for each side. So this should be enough fuel generators. So when I kick start the system, this will bring it up so that my power doesn't run out. And also over here, you can see I did also start doing the walls for this. I figured I want this area to be kind of seen from the outside because of all the white details I have in here. And it looks really nice. I'm going to continue this all the way around. We can put a roof on it, and we can finally get all the final machines up here and get all of these items transported to the top. So let's put the walls and ceiling in. So now for the final machines, I'm going to need 5 blenders for the cooling system, 5 blenders for the fuse modular frames, 5 manufacturers for the radio control units, and 5 manufacturers for the supercomputers. I am also going to need 2 manufacturers for when I unlock the turbo motors, which we can do right after we make the radio control units. I then, after this, have to make sure to lead these into a train station. But first, I gotta make sure all of the final things are in place. Okay, I'm gonna go mess with some stuff because it's gonna take a minute for me to figure out what I'm doing with this stuff. And I don't know if I'm gonna use this whole floor or not either. So we'll see, we shall see. Let's go fiddle around with this a little bit. Oh, everything looks so beautiful. Anyways, let's go fiddle around with this and I'll come back with some of my results. Okay, so while I was building the final machines, I had noticed something in my notes. If we take a look in Satisfactory Modeler, the normal fused modular frame recipe calls for heavy modular frames, casings, and nitrogen gas. The one I'm using, I need 5, and this is, you know, what I have collected. I didn't realize I need nitric acid, which I don't have unlocked yet because nitric acid comes from particle enrichment. And I didn't notice that I didn't have it. That's ridiculous. And for this tier, I need the turbo motors, which are from Leading Edge Productions. So what I'm gonna do is I have to get these fused modular frames. I have to get 150 in total. So I need to use the regular recipe, throw something together to get all of these, and then unlock both the Leading Edge Productions and the particle enrichment so I can have the nitric acid to finish up this factory. So that's gonna take some time. And it's gonna be a huge mess as well because I have to use what I already have over here to get that stuff. So I'm gonna have to I need to bring over the acid anyways, which is over yonder. And luckily, I'm pretty sure that's just a gas, so I don't really need pumps or anything for that. I just need to basically make a whole mess of this. So I won't show you that part because that's just gonna be very complicated. So let's just skip over to where I already have all that and all the paint is done and I can, you know, unlock those things.
2 hours later.
Okay, here we go. First getting the turbo motor because then I have to do the turbo motors to get 50 of those to put in the nitric acid. 3 first. Launch that. Beautiful.
The Miner Mark III provides top-of-the-line resource extraction potential, making it even easier to contribute to project assembly. Project part number 8, the thermal propulsion rocket, is the most complex project part of this phase as it requires turbo motors and thus requires your best. Fix it
Turbo
to be
motors.
pioneers such as you could get this far. I am glad we have both proven them wrong.
Beautiful. And then in 5 minutes, we can get particle enrichment, which will give us the particle accelerator and the nuclear pasta, which is great. And then this stuff we don't really have to worry about until we start nuclear, which should be after this project, honestly, which is freaking beautiful. So let me spend the next 4 minutes getting 50 turbo motors somehow, and then we could go on from there.
3 days later.
Alrighty, here we go. Particle enrichment. Put all the goodies in there and launch. There we go.
Milestone reached. Project part number 9, nuclear pasta, can be created in the particle accelerator.
Let's go.
The accelerator has vast and fluctuating power demands, depending on the recipe, so will need careful integration with your factory. Fix-It does not waste, so nuclear waste can be refined by the particle accelerator into plutonium for reuse in the nuclear power plant. Fun fact. Fix-It psychologists suggest factory designs reflect the minds of their creators in unexpected ways. On an unrelated note, your infrastructural choices have been interesting.
Thank you, I guess. Well, beautiful. All right, so now we have not only do we have nitric acid, finally. I was wondering why I just I guess I didn't use all my iron plates. We have nitric acid, beautiful, which takes nitrogen gas and water, which is great. That's basically all we needed from that. We'll come back and check out the, holy sh, these things are huge. We'll come back and check that stuff out in the future. And then once we get all of this stuff hooked up, we will unlock nuclear power and then we'll be good. Then after that, we could honestly move on to phase 4. Okay, anyways, we could get back to base and finish that up. Now that we have the nitric acid, that was one of the craziest detours I've ever done, and I was not expecting to unlock these before this. So we'll come back to this. We'll end the episode with unlocking the nuclear power. Okay, so that took a while. Everything is just about ready. Here is the side with the blenders. I got the blenders on one side with the cooling systems and one on the side with the fused modular frames, and I have everything coming in from down below. As you can see, it's kind of a mess down here. Everything is hooked up, however. It took a little longer because I forgot this fused modular frame recipe was an alternative recipe, so I had to find that. And luckily I did. And on the other side, we have our radio control units and we have our supercomputers, also all coming in from where it needs to come from. All from down there. As you can see, some stuff is working because I was messing with it, but that is okay. And finally, I did put in our turbo motor setup. Right here on the back, I just needed 2 of these to push through and go through there. And finally, while I was searching for the recipe, you notice this middle part here, all of the items will go up here and all the way up to the top there. Oh, that was okay. Nope. Okay. Well, once we come back down, as you can see, that's where the train station will go. I was having trouble deciding if I wanted the train to come down the ramp on top of the building and then climb its way back up, but I'm like, it's going to be super heavy. Might as well just, you know, build it into a tower that follows along the same theme. And honestly, it fits in. Like, I like how it did that. I should have done that for the other stuffs over there. It would have made it look a lot nicer, but I think this looks good. I still have to, you know, fiddle with this, but I just wanted to make sure all of the machines worked. And while building this, I also realized I needed 5 stations for this, but if you remember specifically over at my base, the train stations only hold 4. So to compensate for that, once the radio control units and the turbo motors go up, they're going to go into the same freight platform. And then once it gets back to storage, it's going to sort itself there. I'm just going to put a smart splitter and then split it up because there's no way I'm going to try to fit an extra station all the way over there. So I think it is a good time to test this now. Actually, what I should do, instead of bringing everything up to the top, I'm just going to bring everything into an awesome sync, honestly. So this will do for now. We are just going to hook this up down here. Oh, and I think this is really funny. I did the motors last to bring the motors over for the turbo motors. So they're just kind of swerving in and out of the other belts on the roof. And here is a complete mess. I couldn't tell you half the stuff that was going on in here. Beautiful. We are good. Okay. We will connect something up. There's something that connects to the, here, we're gonna do that. Gonna do that. Okay. And after I connect this, oh, actually, no. What I can test first is the fuel. That is a great idea. Let me connect the fuel first so those can start running. The generators first. Now, this is not going to be perfect firsthand. Okay. These should start pumping. Yup. Okay. We're getting pumped up. Pump up the jam. Pump it up. There it goes. Okay. Got some generators working. All right. So while those kick on, I very quickly need to go up to here. I need to build a better way to get up top. And finally, hopefully, we connect this one to any of them down here, honestly. Booyah. There we go. Okay, so if we come back up here, we should be getting yellows at least. Yes. Okay, cool. We got greens over there. We should start getting greens over here after the aluminum. All these are manifolds, so it's going to be a minute until these fill up. But yes, we got some working. Got some fused modular frames coming out. Supercomputers. Yup. Okay. Fused modular frames. Oh, there's some radio control units. Here, something's not coming here. Rubber. Oh man, I need more rubber. Oh, did I not connect it? I thought I connected the rubber because we needed it for that, didn't we? Oh, Lamau. Aha, aha. I was about to say, I remember connecting the rubber, but I don't remember connecting it up. Amazing. See, this is why we do testings. Now that should be all good. Yes, now we got greens. Yes. Go, my pretties. Oh, there it is. Cooling systems. Yes. And now some of the cooling systems will go off to do the turbo motors. And then some of them will go up into the base. Now, is this the most possible stuff I could get for this? No. But as long as it works and I'm getting the stuff, that'll be perfectly fine. We're only going to have one train going through this track, so by the time it comes back around, it should be pretty loaded up if I'm not mistaken. There we go. Okay, we're getting everything. Now we just got to wait for more turbo motors. Come on, turbo motors. Oh, it's getting there. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Turbo motor. There it is. Our actual first turbo motor that's made in this factory, of course. And there it goes, off to sync. All right, since those all work so far, now I gotta make sure all of these are turning on, which they are not. I gotta put another pump here. There we go. Okay, it's just because it was just going too much. As long as it just keeps going and like at least gets rid of the fuel, shouldn't be a problem. I'm gonna have to figure that out later. The main thing I'm worried about is making sure everything works properly all of the time. And it should. The only thing that I think might get backed up is these plants over here, because I think there's still some. No, I've used all of them, I'm pretty sure. Hopefully, we'll see. We'll let it run for a little bit, and then we'll see where the life takes us. You know what I mean? All right, but I'm going to just make sure all of the problems are good. Why is this one not what it heat sinks? Oh, because it's manifold. That's why. I'm gonna let it all back up and everything and start working on the station over there, and then we'll wrap things up, I think. Alrighty, everything is filled up and it is ready to send up to the train, which I am super excited about. There you have train up there. I need to rename that train. It's just train. Oh no, that's that train. Whoops. Oh, I have swamp train over there. Oh man. So the two major problems I've found, these refineries here did not have a way to get rid of their polymer resin, so I wasn't getting any heavy oil residue because I didn't plan that. So now they're just clipping through all ugly like. I didn't feel like redoing all this pipe work, excuse me. So they're just clipping through. We're just gonna have to deal with that there. And the second major issue had to do with these refineries making the aluminum scrap and water. The problem was the aluminum scrap was getting backed up, so it wasn't making any water. And without the things moving, all of the things, without the machines running, these will just back up infinitely. And to fix that, I just basically made a overflow system right over here so that the overflow of aluminum can go into here and we can continuously make the aluminum scrap and water. So with all of that, hopefully it is now time to kick on these machines and send them up to the train. I actually think I need to connect the bins to the train, but for now we can just get the things rolling. So we will connect the turbo motors. We will connect the radio control units. We will connect whatever was in this one. We will connect both the fused modular frames. And we will connect the cooling systems, which are coming out of here. These are the ones not being used, just like that. And let all of that travel up. Now, there's not going to be a lot to start with. When in doubt, I literally can use summer sloops to boost the production of all of these. But for now, that is what we're going to use. And after I get all of the items hooked up to the stations, we can go ahead and turn on our train and take a nice leisurely drive to our factory and pick up our new items. Alrighty, into the station we go. And back we go. I wish it showed you the weight of all of the carriers that you're carrying, like how much is in each one. That would be cool. And back into the station. We should be seeing everything split up on the last one. Turbo motors first, I guess. There we go. Amazing. That is beautiful. Ow. Alrighty. So other than getting back up there to decorate, I don't think we really need to mess with anything up there. So like building a way up there won't really matter. Right now, it is just all about making it pretty. It's time to decorate. I don't really have a plan for decorating this. I'm just literally going to wing it and see what looks good. I think that's the best way to do it because that's usually what I do. I have to decorate that over there. I have to decorate this. I have to decorate the plastic rubber recycling facility. I have to figure out what I'm doing with these awesome sinks down here that are taking all of the resin. And we just got to make it look super pretty. And that's going to take a minute. This is always both my least favorite and my favorite part because of the fact that my creative juices need to start flowing a lot more, and sometimes they just don't work. But it is also my favorite part because the end product always usually makes me happy, which is great. But with that, it is time to decorate. Here is the big reveal. Dun, da, 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 da. Yeah, it's pretty all right. It's a box. It's basically what it is. It's a box, but it's a box with a purpose. So I have this nice little entryway to walk up to the factory. I did this kind of pattern here for the bottom that wraps all the way around. And I also used that pattern to encase the recycling plant. So the recycling plant is now completely encased, which is awesome. I added a nice bridge for all of the plastics and the rubbers, as well as just made some walkways around everything so you can see where everything is. And if you walk into here, we have this amazing nice little window here. Now, as you can see, a bunch of craziness going on. You can walk all around, see what's going on here, see all the lights, make sure all of them are working properly. Out of these nice light pillars, I think it brings it all together as a boxy-ish build. I also fully wrapped the fuel in these amazing, whatever you want to call them, arches, I guess. And then we get to the roof where I have encased all of the blenders and manufacturers in this nice little glass thing here. They are still open technically, but I couldn't really figure out a way to really encapsulate that. And then all of that just goes through here up to the tippity top, which I cannot get to right now. And then the train will come and pick up the items, which we are getting. Hooray. We got turbo motors, supercomputers, fused modular frames, radio control units, and the cooling systems. And this is finally completed. Let's go. I hope you guys like the look of this. It's not the best, but I have to work on spreading out my buildings because this is just a very small building in a very large land, and I have a tendency to just smush everything together, and I don't need to do that, especially because of the next project I want to do. I did not do that correctly. Nailed it. I cannot wait until I have teleporters unlocked. The next thing I want to start working on is actually completing phase 4. Because yes, I do want to work. Oh, actually, we can get this unlocked. Because I want to see what is in tier 9 before I start working on my nuclear power plant. But that will be super easy, so that'll probably be at the beginning of the next video. To end this episode, we will unlock nuclear power. So I just got to get the stuff for it, insert it all into here, and big red button.
Milestone reached. The nuclear power plant produces dangerous radioactive nuclear waste. Fix-It reminds you that any extra limbs resulting from exposure to radiation are also contracted to work on project assembly. Fix-It also reminds you that willful exposure to radiation will not result in any bonuses regardless of how many functional limbs it produces. Project part number 7, the magnetic field generator, should enter production as soon as possible. Any unnecessary delays will be noted.
Thank you, Miss Ada. All right, now that we have that unlocked, holy crap, this thing is huge. Holy, well, now that we have that unlocked, I can start planning out that build. That's going to take a lot of planning, but I do want to complete phase 4 at the beginning of the next video, and then we will go from there. If you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You know, all that fun jazz. Share with your friends, share with your enemies for all I care. I hope you guys had a great holiday season and continue to have great days ahead of you. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.